Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome to another map tour, and today we're looking at new Bartelshagen, a brand new map that's just gone live on the console modhub. And this is a map that is a little bit different, a little bit unique in some respects. And I'm not 100% certain exactly what I think of this map, but I kind of like it. So let's jump into it and let's take a closer look. So as you spawn into the yard, the first thing you notice is that you have these big buildings all around for storage, and we have so much storage. It's incredible. If we open these doors up, they all open. They're kind of based on the Mountain Hall package. We've got working lights inside as well. You can see we've got lots and lots of little bits of decoration placed all around the farm, some of which are interactive, some of which aren't. We have ourselves a TC590 combine just over there. If we pop over to this building here, this is kind of like a workshop bay, like a really long bay for a workshop. It's really kind of cool in here. Lots and lots of little bits of scenery. I love this car up on the jack with the wheel taken off. Just silly little touches like that. You can see we've got this big overhead crane support system here for lifting out engines and so on and so forth. Nothing actually is interactive in here. I haven't been able to find a light switch for this building either, but you do see that we do have strip lights in the ceiling, so I'm thinking maybe the lights on this building are either tied to another switch that I haven't found yet or are automatic. But we do have a maintenance point just outside here, which you can see is actually working on this vehicle. So it looks as though anything that we park in this area we will be able to sort of amend by using our little icon just here. So you can see we can get in and we can customize the Puma. So yeah, obviously we have a Puma there as well. We actually have two Pumas on this map. I'll show you the other one in just a second. We've got a little sort of selection of fuel drums just over there, and here is our fuel point. This big sort of petrol diesel station just here. We have some seed pallets sort of stacked up just over here, as you can see. Got some maize seed there. Got some fertilizer by the look of it, and some wheat seeds. Oh, this is grass seed. Yeah, so a selection of seeds over here. This is our fertilizer refill point just here. And as we move over to these buildings, I actually really like these. These are kind of cool, these brick buildings. They're split into three separate bays. So you can see inside this bay here we have a fertilizer spreader, a reel unit. We move along to the next bay. We have ourselves a seeder in here. This is the Kverneland Accord seeder. And we also have our second Puma. And we have some seed pallets here which do work as well. So you can fill directly inside that shed. And then if we move over to the third bay, you can see we just have this kind of open area in here for us to store some more vehicles. I really like this building here. This is a really, really nice little feature. You know, all of the doors open up, and yeah, we have double doors for each bay. So there's 3 bays, 6 sets of doors. I really like that building. It's a really nice little thing. Moving around here, you can see we've got another one of these sort of mountain hall shed packages. And again, we have working lights in here. And in here, we have a Metal Tech auger wagon, or chaser bin. And we also have this agro liner trailer in here as well. So that'll give you about, I think, 21,000 litres capacity, somewhere in that region. And we start with a conveyor belt as well, just kind of tucked away here in the corner. And then if we move back around to here, you can see we're kind of back where we started, and there is our combine. So lots and lots of big buildings for us to store stuff in here at the main sort of yard. Now there are 3 yards to this map. Animals are all reasonably close to each other, and we have equipment sort of spread across 2 of the yards. So let's just take a quick look at the map itself. So you can see that we start here with field 4 in this area here, and field 7 just here. Not sure why we don't start with field 1. that to me would make a lot of sense. But we start with those two fields, kind of, as far away from our two farmyards as possible. The other sort of area where we have equipment is up here in this corner here, and again we don't own a field over here, which is a little bit frustrating. And I have noticed as well that most of the fields don't have jobs on them. There are only 3 I've found so far that do. There's this one here, which is field 11. There's this one here, which is field 1, and then field 8. The other fields don't seem to have contract work on them, and they're big fields, as you can see, very, very big fields. So let's take a jump over to this location here, the Hoff Silo, because this is our secondary kind of location / main farm. I mean, one thing you will have noticed down here, actually, if we just head back over here, is we don't actually have a silo down here. We have a large shed for storing all of our equipment. We have a series of large sheds, but we have no grain storage down here. Absolutely none whatsoever. Obviously, here's our chickens as well, just kind of rummaging around a little bit. So, our main silo for the farm is all the way up here in this top corner. And this is why I said this map is a little bit weird and a little bit odd in the way that some of the things are kind of placed and laid out. It may be based on an actual proper farm. I do know that the terrain has been taken from Google Earth. So it's kind of been height mapped based on a real location. But as to where everything's placed, that I'm not so sure about. So here we are in the top right hand corner of the map. You can see this is our tip point for our silo, and then all the way down the other side, this is where we get our downpipe so we can retrieve our grain. So we just cut through here, and there's our downpipe just there on the opposite side. We also have a JCB fast track as part of our equipment, as you can see just here, and we have another one of these agro liner trailers as well. And then over here we have a tiny plough. I mean, I love the fact that we've got some interesting different equipment to start with, but why do modders consistently give us the smallest ploughs in the game when they give us maps with the hugest fields? Shu did this as well with Mustang Valley. He gave us fields that were 30, 80 and 104 hectares, and then gave us a 2-meter plough to work and said, off you go. It just, I don't understand the logic in that one myself. And you can see we have a little 3-meter cultivator here as well. And if we take a look inside these buildings, you can see that, again, a lot of big open storage space, lots of doors, and we have working lights as well. We go around to the other side and the other building. Once again, lots of doors, lots of big open space, and we do have lights in here as well. So plenty of storage at this side of the farm to actually plonk a lot of equipment down as well. So now we're going to kind of have a little drive around in the fast track. So let's make our way around here. We've got this really long sort of stretch of forest that goes around a large chunk of the map. So if you like logging, there's plenty of trees for you to cut down. You can see the road actually stops as it goes off the map. Just there, we do have a couple of trees that kind of block the road a little bit, and then the road just stops. But if we head along here, we actually have a lumber mill just in here. So we're going to take a little detour, follow this dirt road through here. And here is our lumber mill. Now this is, I think in a way, kind of reminiscent of sort of the lumber mills we see on spin tires. It's literally just a log kiosk, so to speak. We can drop our logs off here, but that's all we can do. There's no wood chip point, there's no cranes, there's no mill pond. It's literally just a drop-off box for our logs, and that's it. And I kind of like that, The wood chips are available to be sold elsewhere on the map, but as I say, this little camp here is purely just for selling our logs. So that's kind of a little bit different, and I kind of like that. I'm going to follow the dirt track around because we're going to make our way over to the next sort of icon that you see popping up, and this is the spinnery. This is where we sell the wool. So again, it's a little bit weird the way it's positioned and where it's placed, but this is the spinnery, and there is our sell point there for the wool itself. Lots and lots of big sort of buildings over here. It's quite a large area for such a small little cell box, but there we go, that's the spinnery. And then we have this kind of paved exit road that takes us back to the main road just over here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hang a right, and we're going to bomb all the way along the top, because most of the cell points are all clustered in one location in that top left corner. That's where pretty much all of the cell points are located, apart from obviously the logging cell point that we've just seen and the spinnery. Everything else, apart from the barn, is all in that top left corner. So we're going to make our way over there, and it's quite a big map, as you can see. These fields are really good sized fields. This is definitely a large equipment map. So yeah, if you have the Big Bud expansion, then you could use Big Bud tractors, although I think the equipment would be a better option, and then maybe use some of the larger things like maybe Challengers or the New Holland T9s or the Quad Tracks, something along the lines of that. And this is something that I really like as well. Now this is actually marked as Field 12, but this is actually a purchasable, placeable area. This is something that's kind of new, a placeable area that we have to sort of save up and pay for. I say save up, it's not that expensive. It's what, 37,000, so it's pretty cheap. But I like the fact that we actually have a purchasable placeable area. That's something that's a little bit different again. And as you can see, we do have nuggets as well. Nuggets are on the map, and as always, I will cover those at the end of the video. So those of you who don't want to see where the nuggets are, you'll be able to sort of look away at that point. You see we're moving along, coming up to our sort of collection of cell points here. It's a very cramped little area up here. Everything's kind of squashed into this one location. So we drive in here, and this is kind of the entrance to our BGA plant, as well as the entrance to our cell points. So as we drive in, we go through the weighbridge. I do actually like that it forces you through the weighbridge, and you know, most of these sort of BGAs that we see, they have weighbridges when they're kind of just off to the side, and I like the fact that we're actually kind of forced to go through the weighbridge on that one. This is the cell point here for our silage. So you can see we've got a few bunkers all sort of stacked up just there for us to actually process our silage. This is where we sell it once it's fermented. We can also sell manure into that tip point just there as well. If we loop our way around, there's another nugget just there. Just quickly grab that. In fact, we'll do this bit on foot because there's quite a lot of things all squashed together. This just here is another sell point. Now this one, I forget exactly which one this one is. This one here is... what is this one actually? We have our silage mist, which is... actually, I don't know if this is a sell point actually. I'm trying to remember what this is for. There is our silage sell point. That's silage mist. So you can see here, look, we have one sell point for all of our grains. Silage mist, which we've just looked at, that shredder, that is where we sell our silage, and we can also sell manure. I'm not entirely sure what this is. We'll come back to that. In here, this is our grain sell point. So you can see we have this sort of drop-off point in here, and this is where we sell all of our grains. So this is Getreide AG, and this is where all of our grains will be sold, including our sugarcane. This map is compatible with sugarcane. Grab that nugget there as well. And again, we've got lights in here, and we've even got a little bit of space to the sides if we wanted to store some trailers or something in here as well. So that's kind of nice. Here is our slurry point for our digestate. So this is where we can get our digestate from. Then we have Emerson's livestock market kind of just squashed in here, so we can buy our animals from here. We make our way around the corner. This is our wood chip sell point with another nugget. So if we go into this, you can see this is the Hoff sell point, or HAS. So this is, I think, is our biomass heating plant, effectively. There's the back of our bunkers. We have a manure sell point as well. So not only can we sell manure at the BGA shredder just over there, but we can also sell it here as well. We have two kind of competing manure prices. So this is mist just here. You can see it's 103 euros, so slightly higher than the silage mist. And then if we make our way around here, another nugget lurking on the grate just there. This sell point, I believe, is our slurry sell point. Let's just tag the location. Step away and try that again. Yes, so there we go. You can see that is our slurry sell point just there. So that's where we can sort of sell off any excess slurry that we have. So as you can see, a lot of stuff really crammed in, and then we've got a weighbridge exit point on the opposite side of our BGA just there as well. You kind of come in, you loop your way through and around, and then back out through another weighbridge. It really is a lot of stuff squashed into a very small area up here, and I have mixed feelings about that. I'm not entirely sure whether I like that or not. I think the livestock market would have perhaps been better off somewhere else. I'm not so bothered about having everything else in one place, but I think it would have been better to have the livestock market somewhere else, perhaps. But as I say, this could be based on actual real-world locations. I know the terrain is based on real-world data, so I still don't know what this is for, though. So I'm just going to quickly sort of stand back, start tagging things, and see if anything shows up. So we know that that there is our grain sell point inside that building there. What have I just tagged? That's the slurry sell point, so you can see that lit just over there in the background. This one here is the heating plant. This one here is the manure sell point. That's the barn, which is down opposite our main farm. Silage mist is obviously our shredder just there, and that is our wool spawn point, which is way over there in the distance. So I'm not entirely sure what this is then. I'm not sure why we have this interaction box. Maybe this is for PC players. Maybe this is like a milking interaction point or something for PC players. I'm not entirely sure. But let's make our way out of here. Let's just untag that. You can see where we are now. What we're gonna do is head back down towards the main farm, and then we're gonna check out the animals and the third yard as well. Because obviously the first one is where we started, the second one is up where our silo is in the top right corner, and then you can see there's that third sort of yard. It's the second fuel pump, slap bang in the middle of the map, next to field 6. That's the third yard just there. So we'll check that out once we've checked out the animals, and then once we've done that, we'll check out the nuggets as well. But I do kind of like some of the features of this map, in the sense of the fields. I mean, the borders around the edges are quite nice. I love how we've got this kind of scenic break with the trees and the bushes and the hedges kind of just separating the fields from the roads like this. This is quite nice. And also, what I do like about the fields is that they have things in them. They're not just big solid slabs of ground. Let's see if we're going to nugget on this one here. We have a few of these sort of access points. I think these are kind of sort of drainage access points dotted around the map. I'm not entirely sure exactly what these are in real life, but there's a few of these dotted around on some of the fields. We also have tree breaks and hedge breaks dotted around the fields in some places as well. I'm going to take you on a quick whiz around field 3. You can see that the map has this kind of little break in the field, and the field actually has some hedges and bushes kind of just stopping a complete line. It just splits the field up into kind of sections a little bit, but at the same time keeps it continuous as well. And there's a few sort of trees and hedgerows and areas like that dotted around it in some of the fields as well. So I kind of like this. This is kind of realistic. You know, you do get fields that just have these big islands of trees or things just plonked in the middle of them, and this isn't something we really see that much of in console. You can see we've got a little watering area in here, complete with a nugget. I like the fact that we have these kind of little scenic breaks in the middle of our fields. It's just, like I said, it's something that we don't see that much of on console, so it's nice to get something just a little bit different. So as we make our way back up here, we're going to start off, whoops, these roads are really narrow, so you do have a tendency to bump the traffic. We're going to start off with our pigs. So I'm just going to grab this nugget around the back here. That's 7. Okay. We have our Slurry Point here, and as you've seen on maps like the West Coast, we do have this interactive slurry gate as well. We have our manure point, and then we have our dialogue box here so that we can open and close with the animals themselves. Then we have a food trough, and as we make our way around here, there is our water trough, and another nugget, that's number 8. And then as we make our way around here, this is our straw point. So this is where we tip our straw for our pigs, in this sort of zone just here. And this is quite a nice little pig area. There we've got nugget number 9 there as well, look. So we'll grab that, and just have to make sure we don't grab another one for a little while. But that's our pig zone. It's quite a nice little area, not too big. Nicely, you know, kind of nicely laid out. There's another nugget lurking just there, look. I think nuggets are really quite easy to find on this map. You know, you just have a little kind of wander around and you find them really, really quickly. There's another nugget lurking on the other side of the water there, look. Now we're going to take a quick wander over the road, and we're going to check out our sheep. And I really like the sheep enclosure over here as well. So we come down here, we've got these old, I love these old brick buildings as scenery. I really like these. I mean, they're completely uninteractive, they just sit there, they don't do anything, no opening doors, but I just love the look of them. That nice sort of old country kind of feel. You can see we've got another nugget lurking just over there, and this is our sheep paddock. So I'm pretty sure that this is the area where our wool pallets are going to spawn. I haven't got any sheep to actually check that, but that's where I think they spawn. Here is a nice interactive gate, and this is also our dialogue box for our sheep as well. So you can see we can just plonk them in that way if we want to. Close the gate again. And then as we make our way around the paddock, again you'll see we have the trough. So we have our water trough just there, and then we have our grass or hay trough just there as well. Nice, decent sized little enclosure for our sheep, not too big, not over the top. And you can see it sort of continues a little bit around the side here as well. So that's our sheep. And then as we come over here, this is our cows. And our cows have a huge paddock, but I have found a problem. And that is I can't find the dialogue box for the cows, or at least I can't find a working dialogue box for the cows. You can see we've got our barn just over there. There is actually a nugget inside the barn as well. So that's kind of our storage area for, our sell point for grass and straw and hay. And this is part of one long continuous paddock. It kind of loops all the way around the side. So we're just going to cut through here. Actually, we'll follow along the fence here. We're, you know, kind of here we are alongside our cow paddock here. It's a really, really big paddock, absolutely massive. It runs all the way down to the road over there, and then all the way around the back here, looping around the barn. There's that nugget just inside the door, and it loops out, and there's another nugget there under the tree. See what I mean? The nuggets are so easy to find. Just loops out into this big open space here behind our cow barn. So this is obviously our food trough and our straw area just here. We've got a nice big BGA bunker for us to actually fill up for silage. We've got the straw barn just there. And as we make our way around here, we have another piece of equipment that we've been given. We have a telehandler, and we actually have a few loose bales to get us started as well. That's a really, really nice little feature. We have a manure pit, and we have a slurry pit, and then we have this box just here. And I thought this might perhaps be our cow purchase point, but it's not. I have yet to find the actual interaction zone, the animal dialogue box for our cows. I just can't find it anywhere. I'm not entirely sure exactly where it is, so I'm not sure how we would actually get cows onto our farm just yet. I still need to kind of figure that one out. If you do know, please do pop a note in the comments. I will obviously update the video description once I've sussed it out as well. This here is obviously our grass trough, and then a bit further round is our water trough, which is kind of towards the other side over there as well. So we have all of those, and you may have noticed this map doesn't have a shop. This is our shop. This is our there is no shop on this map. We have this little box here where we can actually buy stuff, but that's it. You know, there is no building, there's no sort of return point. This little block of slabs here, this is our shop. It's kind of strange. Again, like I said, there are some things that this map does that are a little bit weird, but yeah, that's where we get our equipment from when we buy it. It spawns in this location. This here is a nice little water point. Water is free on this map, so we have a water trailer just here. You can hook up a tractor to the back of this, pull underneath this, fill up, and you get water completely free. There's no charge for it, which is nice. And here's the rest of our chickens kind of just wandering around here. So we have one kind of rogue chicken that's sort of wandering its way over here. It's kind of a little bit lost. I've got a friend with him now, but we're back here at our sort of original starting yard. So let's jump back into our JCB. Oops. And let's go check out that second yard on this main area over here. I do like these kind of little villages that we drive through. They're very, very small, very compact. Just a few houses dotted around here and there, but they just help create a nice little lived-in kind of feel for the area. Oops. Me not paying attention again, trying to avoid a car that I was driving straight into. You can see what I mean about them being quite narrow roads, so you will have to be careful with some of your equipment. And then here is the final yard. So once again we have a fuel point that is lurking just here, and I actually really like this this yard. It's got some really nice little touches. I love this shutter door that rolls up into the ceiling. That's a really, really nice little visual touch. Inside you can see we've got some pallets for refilling our seed. We've got a fertilizer refill point. We've got another nugget. We've got doors so that we can open and close to get our equipment in. We've got working lights as well. It's just a really, really nice building, this one. Really, really like that as a storage building, and access on both sides as well. And then we've got another one of these mountain hall packages that's been kind of co-opted a little bit. We'll open the doors, pop in. You've seen all these before. Plenty of space, working lights. So once again, a nice amount of storage over here. And that's pretty much all we have over here at this yard. Just those couple of buildings and a fuel point. It's not a particularly big yard, but it does allow us to kind of separate out some of our equipment if we want to. So that's pretty much it for the map. You know, we've looked at the animals, we've looked at some of the fields, and you can see the way they're kind of shaped. It's a very odd shaped map in some of those fields as well. No shop, no proper shop, which is very, very, you know, disorienting at first. Everything else for sell points all crammed into that one corner, which has pros and cons. The fact that there is only one sell point for grains is potentially going to be a major issue for some people. But don't forget, we also have those placeable sell points, so you can actually stick in, placeable wood point if you want to, a placeable manure point. A slurry point is on the way with the slurry trading system. We also have the mill. We have the root crop sell point as well. So loads and loads of different places that we can actually drop in now to expand how many sell points that we have on the map. And I think now it's time to just go and grab that final nugget and show you where the nuggets are. So if you don't want to know where the nuggets are and you want to find them yourselves, now is the time to sort of stop watching, in which case I'll thank you all for watching. And for those of you that do want to see the nuggets, stay tuned. We're on our way to go and grab number 10 right now. I'm going to get this one down here on the water. There we go. So we have found 10 nuggets, and let's take a look at exactly where they're located. So we've got this huge sort of concentration of nuggets, mainly around this sort of built-up area, but we do have others kind of dotted around. Some are in the fields. We've got a few sort of knocking around up here. There are a couple up here. Don't forget, we've already collected a couple up this area. You can see we've got a few more sort of dotted around in the fields where we have these tree breaks and ponds and things like that. More sort of along this sort of road down here. And again, this sort of little village area over here as well. It's a really unique little map in a lot of ways. I quite like it, but there are some things that I do find a little bit weird. Like I say, I'm not 100% sure I like the fact that everything is crammed up into this top right corner. The lack of a proper shop is a little bit weird. I'm assuming, if we just jump back to our yard, our first yard where we first started, I'm assuming that we can actually sell vehicles at this point, so let's just double check. Yes, so we can actually sell stuff here at the farm to kind of make up for the fact that we don't have a proper shop. So it's not too bad, but like I say, it does seem a little bit weird as to the way it's been laid out. I mean, if we're going to have a shop point that isn't actually a shop, why not put it up here where we have the sell point? It just seems, we could put the little buy point just here and then have stuff spawn directly into the yard rather than onto a small slab of concrete steps right opposite. Like I said, there are some things that this map does really well. There are some things that it does that are a little bit strange. But on the whole, I do kind of like this map. And I think I'm going to have a little explore and a little play about with it at some point in the future. So there we go. That's new Bartelshagen. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all again very soon.